The meeting is being recorded. We are here for a 1-month course about yoga. When we are done with the class, if you have attended all 9 classes, you will have the tools necessary to practice in this method on your own, okay? You will still receive benefit by receiving guidance from a teacher in this method, but this is a method that is out there. I have a recommendation for a virtual teacher that has a lot of time and a low cost, and I'm gonna be offering classes later as well. But the structure of this class is 9 classes. Today's the first one, and then we're gonna have 8 movement classes over the next month. I plan to do this again in the future. So if after today's class you feel like maybe this isn't something that you're ready to commit to quite yet, then we're going to have another offering starting about April, okay? So after today, I hope that you guys have a clear understanding of what we're trying to do in this class, and then we'll see who wants to join in for January. And if you want to wait till later, there's lots of resources in this book that you can digest for the next 3 months, and you'll get a lot of benefit out of that as well, okay? So here we are. I made Megan's ebook right here. It's not an ebook anymore. It's a real book. And what we're going to talk about in this next hour, first page is about me. We're going to talk about what is the Mysore method, how to establish a consistent practice, all of that. I'm not going to read the whole table of contents, but this is what we're going to do for the next hour. I put a lot of words in this. We're not going to read the whole book, but I'm going to give you the essence of it. And if something that I said intrigues you, then read this book a little bit more in depth and check out some of the resources that I've shared with you, okay? So page 1, this is me. My name is Megan Nelson. I have been practicing yoga since about 2007. The reason I started was because of stress. I was in the middle of my master's thesis, and I was running a marathon and getting that thesis done, and I thought I could do it all, and that was wrong. And so when running was pushing me to just keep going faster and faster all the time, yoga created that balance for me to say that relaxation and balance and pulling back is worth it in life, okay? And I continued along that path, and then in 2017, Kathy Trexler was pivotal in helping me get started in my teacher training program. I did a teacher training with Warrior One, and then the next year after that, I did a teacher training with the Yoga Shala. So once I started, I kind of stopped. That's how it went. Also, these pictures, very important here. We got our chair yoga, maybe circa 2019 or so. Who's in there? Dan's on the left. You see that blue shirt? That's Dan. Oh. Daniel, white shirt, back to the front. I see him. Lisa. Maria's in there. Uh-huh. Okay, and then that lower picture, we got our stars from TV, Daniel and Lisa, both present with us. That little thumbnail in the bottom, we recorded 2 15-minute chair yoga programs on Orange TV, and they are still available if you find your wellness link on the internet. Okie doke. Next page. What is the Mysore style of Ashtanga Yoga, and why am I teaching it? Really great questions. Really great questions. That picture that I included is by an artist in Germany. It's an illustration of what a Mysore room looks like. So in a normal Mysore room, the students are responsible for memorization, and that's why I'm teaching this as a course. This is not a course where I'm going to be standing up front every day saying left foot, right foot. We're going to learn one bit one brick of the practice at a time, and we're slowly going to build on it over time. And so this practice will help you find independence and find your unique way in the practice. Because we're all practicing at a different pace, it allows the person that needs to move a little slower to practice right next to the person that's moving a lot faster. But we are all going to start with the same series, okay? So what else do I want to say about that?
I don't have to put my foot behind my head, do I?
You do not have to put your foot behind your head. You can
Hey,
maybe do
Megan.
that fish at the front.
Megan.
Hi.
Real quick, can you give me control of the little bookie thing that's being shared,
Yeah.
and then I can scroll with you?
Okay.
Because I'm just
How do I
sitting
do-
here, like, listening.
Oh,
I asked for control, but I don't know where it went.
Give control. You had it. Give control right there in the middle.
who was talking to me? Who wants
Jackie.
to do it? Jackie?
Me? Oh, yeah, Jackie. I guess that would be beneficial.
Did it work?
I think. Oh, look, it's my little face. But I'm like, hey. Okay, sorry. Okay, I can just scroll through this. Okay, groovy.
Oh, stop. Too far, too far.
Oh. And it's double.
Just want the picture of the foot behind your head.
My foot behind my head?
Up one. Okay, we are here.
Pass down some more pens. Anybody need pens? Anyone else?
I think I distributed them. All right, this is
Okay.
where we're at. Why we're learning Mysore. Okie doke. Yeah, so as I mentioned, it's a self-paced practice. It also facilitates individualized instruction. It does require memorization of sequences. And because there's no music, because there's no teacher talking over your self-guidance, you get to focus on your breath and your bandhas. You'll learn that, of course, it's okay. Inclusive of all levels. In my previous class, we had a person with a knee replacement practicing right behind somebody that did put their foot behind their head. So you can do it. I believe in you. Flexibility in practice time. We're going to have to, learn some more abbreviated flexibility since we're working over lunch break, but we're still going to enjoy that flexibility of practice time. Independence and community connection. All of my Ashtanga groups that I've participated in the past, it fosters this really deep community connection because we're all just like listening to each other's breath, we're supporting each other, and it's a really different thing than a class that's like solely focused on just the teacher up front teaching things. By the way, Marina and Will Marie have already completed my beginners class, so they are the class celebrities for today. Okay, here's a long quote, but I really like it. Would anyone be willing to read it out loud? Anyone?
Sure.
Oh, yes, Tiffany, thank you.
In order to truly develop a deep and personal relationship with the yoga, we need to wean ourselves away from the teacher's words and seek the voice of Ashtanga as it rises through the sound of our own breath and the dancing flow of the sequence. The teacher is still present, yet only to assist where absolutely necessary, to guide when needed and advise when required. Now the depth of practice spreads her arms and welcomes us into the flow. This relationship, once established, is freedom. Now we stand on our own and walk hand in hand with the practice and the ancient wisdom gained from the direct connection. The greatest teachers instill strength, independence, and confidence into their students. Mysore practice is a stepping stone to the path of self-reliance.
Thank you. Good job, Jackie, scrolling through. You found the quote. All right, we are going to flip on to establishing a consistent practice. So as you can imagine, with this style that requires memorization, consistency is going to be very necessary. But it's not just for the purpose of memorization. The memorization is really step one. And when you become really familiar in that, it moves into a deeper movement meditation, okay? And by establishing that consistent practice, you start to develop a new relationship with your mind and body together. Your mind and body can rely on this established time and this established practice and this established way of you working with your mind and body. So to establish a consistent practice, we want to set clear goals. We're going to start slow. You want to be able to sustain this however you choose to do so. Also picking a convenient time. We're going to work here over lunch with me, but I want the purpose of this class is for you to continue this as part of your lifestyle. And so I invite you to think about what that would look for you. Would you be practicing in a space at home? Would you like to continue lunchtime and just bring your mat to work even when I'm not necessarily teaching with you? So take a look at your daily habits and see when you could potentially fit this into your lifestyle. Creating that designated space. You're creating a habit over time, something where you can minimize extraneous things that you have to think about. You know, if you're picking a new location every day, you're spending a lot of energy being creative and I'm going to try the garden, I'm going to try this, I'm going to try that. Try to create a habit so that this can just be an automatic thing where you can get into that meditative state with yourself. Okay, so consistency, accountability partners, we've got them all here. We're going to be accountable with each other, and we're going to track progress over time, taking little notes, see how it works for you over time. How often should you practice? Thank you, Jackie. Not too far. How often should I practice? Beginners are starting 2 to 3 times a week. So with me, you're going to do 2 times. I am going to be assigning you homework. So that third, you got to make time for it. And if that feels like maybe out of reach for you right now, no problem whatsoever. We're going to have future opportunities for you to think about that as well. Okay? So yes, this class is Mondays and Wednesdays, both days over the next month. And then eventually, maybe you want to practice more than 2 to 3 days a week. This is something that we'll say people that want to try to follow the full curriculum of Ashtanga might do. If you are ready to dedicate to the practice and really discover what the transformative benefits of this practice can do for you, then up to 6 days a week, minus special rest days. Okay, so 6 days a week. We always pick one nice day to not think about the yoga whatsoever. And we have special rest days. Ladies get a very special rest day. It's called Ladies' Holiday. That's right. On the first or heaviest days of your cycle, we encourage rest, journaling, bathing, sleeping in, whatever you need to do to react to what your body is asking for. Okay? Men, if you just are really tuned into the female cycle, then maybe you need a special rest day too. I get it, no problem. No problem. We also take off moon days. Okay, so moon days are new moon and full moon. In the back of your packet, I have provided a cute little moon day craft for you. Wilmarie's already made hers. She can demonstrate if you walk by her cube anytime. On moon days, a traditional Ashtanga practice does not practice. This came back from when this was taught in India at the Sanskrit college. The college was closed every new moon and full moon. No tests, no anything can be done on that day. And so on moon days, we take a day to also enjoy the cycles of nature and maybe sleep in, maybe journal, any of those things that make you feel like a little bit calmer and tuned into the natural cycles, okay? I also included a nice little graphic because it's important to know, as us engineers and scientists that we are, Do you know what new moon and full moon means? Here it is. Check it out. New moon is when the moon is in between the earth and the sun, okay? Full moon, so it's dark because it's in between. It's not reflecting any of the light of the sun. The full moon is when the sun, the earth, and then the moon. And so the moon is still it's reflecting like all of the light. Make sense?
Mhm.
Cool. All right, next page. Jackie's still good. Mysore room etiquette. When we are practicing in the room together, for this class, we're all starting at noon, okay? If Marina and Wilmarie and possibly some of my other Ashtanga people choose to come in, they're allowed to come in early if they want, okay? With this method, the teacher is there to give individual guidance, not to begin the class, not to initiate the practice or any of that. So it is like personal practice in a group setting, okay? For this class, we're all starting at noon, but anyone who's already gone through the beginner's class and still wants some of my instruction or input, they're invited to come and start whenever they want. So, yeah, understand the schedule. We are going to observe silence during the class. Only talking is appropriate if it's related to the practice. If you have questions for me, you're going to ask me questions. Wilmarie and Marina, if they show up and they've been working on something specific and they say, Megan, I really want you to watch me during this part of my practice, then I'll be ready and knowing to be ready for that. Yeah, I think I'm not going to read through all those. Those etiquette things, you can glance through them. I think it's pretty clear. I also am sharing some tips on the next page about how to practice in a virtual space. At the end of this book, I've shared resources about other teachers in the world that are teaching in this similar style as me. Some of them are local in Orlando. Some of them offer virtual programs, and the virtual programs are pretty legit and they're pretty awesome. And teachers that are offering assistance on that can really see what you're doing through the computer. And it can be a great way to get your questions answered and help you to continue growing in your practice. Of course, practicing on your own is absolutely 100% encouraged. When you feel stuck or questions, practicing in a virtual space from the comfort of your home is a great resource. So yeah, those are just some tips on how to set up for it, and some sillinesses. Incorrect method is my friend Abby, who makes a lot of silly memes on Instagram about Ashtanga. Next page, Jackie is good. Okie doke. So here's some of the meat of the practice, so to say. So on Monday, we're going to start movement. But even before you start movement, you need to know a few things about your internal experience of the practice. I maybe didn't write that word down, but I should. Tristana, Tristana, T-R-I-S-T-A-N-A, is a word describing the three pillars of yoga. The three pillars are breath, drishti or sight, and bandhas or locks, okay? So this whole first page describes the breathing techniques that we are applying in our practice. We're going to do some breathing. I have to catch up my own breath before we can do it. Okay. We're going to practice this. It's just called deep breathing with sound. And we're going to practice here sitting in our chair. And when we start moving, we're going to take that breath and try to extend it throughout the practice as well, okay? So, it involves inhaling and exhaling through the nose while constricting the back of the throat, creating a subtle audible sound resembling ocean waves. I've also heard people say, like a Darth Vader type of voice, or even if you had a mirror in front of your face, you'd be like doing the fogging up breath, okay? This approach helps to generate internal heat, increases oxygenation, and provides a rhythmic guide for movement. It also helps focus the mind and cultivate a meditative state. And by the way, this breath is only through your nose, okay? In and out through the nose only. When you're practicing, it's gonna maybe be a challenge to do that for a full hour. No problem, let go of it. And then when your mind can handle trying again, you try again, okay? And eventually, you're gonna have your mouth closed for the whole hour, and you're gonna be like, wow, where did that come from? Look how great my breath has developed, okay? So, deep breathing of sound. Do that sitting straight thing again. Find your feet on the ground, relax your shoulders, just notice your spine, tall and straight. Okay, you're breathing in and out through your nose, constricting the back of your throat. Feel your chest expand as you inhale, and your chest compress as you exhale. Okay, good. Feel normal? Feel doable, maybe? That's the question. Does it feel doable? Yeah? You felt like you were doing it? Feel that Darth Vader-ness in you? Okay, good. Okay, so, great. Tristana pillar number 1 achieved. Check it off the box. So by creating this breath, we got 3 more things to talk about the breath. The breath helps create this body connection. We're going to move with, each movement is going to be connected to one breath. And like I said, at first it's going to be kind of hard to do that. So if you take extra breaths, no problem. One rule, no holding your breath, okay? If I am giving cues, say inhale and exhale, but you can't quite stay with that, let it go. I'm just giving suggestions and reminders. And when you get to that pace eventually, then that's where you are. But no holding your breath in class. And that extends to your day. I think when I started to really develop my yoga practice and it like creates more awareness in your body through your whole day and your whole life. And when you start to develop this practice, you may start to notice yourself sitting at your desk. And when you're reading those slightly anxiety-driving emails that you get from so-and-so, I don't know. Notice if you hold your breath and how often that happens. And can you invite yourself to relax your shoulders and continue with breath? And I have found that I am much more able to achieve my daily goals when I am more connected to my breath. Okay, vinyasa is an important term. You're going to hear me say it a lot. Vinyasa is the movements that connect each pose in the posture, in the sequence, okay? We'll talk about it more, no problem. Pacing and intensity, everyone is going to breathe at a different pace. We're going to get used to that. We'll know what's what, but don't be worried if someone else needs to move faster than you. Drishti, that's the second pillar of Tristana. Drishti is the fancy word for gazing point. The little cartoon on the left side, that little cartoon online with the guy, he is doing all of his postures and showing us all the different places that our gaze can go, okay? So as we start at the beginning, it might just be upward gaze and downward gaze, and that's okay, but as time goes on, we're gonna learn a few other things. And with this breath and this gazing point together, with the bandhas, those three things really help us to get into this mindful movement practice. So drishti, let's just talk about a few before I tell you what bandhas are. In the little cartoon, we have nasagra drishti, that's tip of the nose. So everyone look at the tip of the nose. Don't strain your eyes, just kind of like let your eyes softly gaze past the tip of your nose. Your eyes are open. Don't make yourself go cross-eyed. Yeah. Look at your nose, relax your eyes. Look at your nose, relax your eyes. Okay, got that? Urdhva drishti is up to space, okay? So maybe put your finger between your eyebrows. Okay, let your eyes relax. Like up higher. Yeah, still up higher. That's good. See if you can see your eye. You're not looking at me. Look at your finger. Relax your eyes. And do it one more time. Okay, that's Urdhva drishti. Brahmadra drishti. Brahmadra drishti is more when you put it between the bridge of your nose. Okay, so upward is more like up here. Brahmadra drishti is like really actually cross-eyed. But don't overstrain your eyes. All soft gazing. All soft gazing. Hastagra drishti. I'm not going to use all this. Hastagra is hands. Okay, so things where you're like triangle pose, you'd be looking at your hand. So we're always giving our eyes something to land on. Even though everyone in the room might be doing different postures than you, or there's people walking past you, your eyes are set on one point, and you're breathing, and you're creating this movement meditation. Number 7 is Parshva drishti. That's like the side eye. So if you put your finger on your temple, you're kind of looking at your eye. Okay, try the other side. Okay. Softly looking. So that one might be like if I'm in side angle pose, I'd be looking like that. Okay. Okay. Good. Drishtis. I told them all, but mostly up and mostly nose. That's what we need to think about the first day. Bandhas are energetic locks. Okay, so in class we're going to mostly talk about Uddiyana Bandha and Mula Bandha. Okay, good. So bandhas are like internal muscle using. Mula Bandha is in and up through perineal muscles. Okay, like the muscles that are sitting on your chair. Okay, it's like in and up, gentle movement. It's a very gentle movement, in and up. Okay. Uddiyana Bandha is through the abdominal. It's like looking at this picture, right? In and up through the belly. But it's like the back sheet of muscles. It's not this like strong thing. It's the subtle muscles in the back, in and up. Mula Bandha, in and up. Okay, did you practice that? Got that? Okay. So these are very subtle practices that eventually we're going to apply through the whole practice, but at first they're just things that we're going to introduce to the mind. And when you're going through the movements, you're going to forget about completely. But then we're going to remind ourselves and come back to it and come back to it. And eventually, the application of these bandhas starts to create a lightness in your practice, and it starts to create a new level of control in your practice. And it keeps your body safe, okay? It keeps us in alignment and in safety. So moving on. All right, we do use some Sanskrit in Ashtanga in my class. Sanskrit is the ancient language of India, and we're going to do our best. That's okay. You don't have to know, you don't have to necessarily know how all the sounds go, but it's like we're letting go of that knowing and welcoming in these sacred sounds. That's it, okay? So we are going to practice the opening mantra right now. And it's okay if none of the sounds make sense to you, but you just kind of like whisper them to yourself, or if you want to belt it out, you can do that, no problem. It's a way to let our brain get past the blocks. That's it, okay? The opening mantra is an indication expressing gratitude to the lineage of teachers. I learned this from my teacher, she learned it from her teacher in India, and he learned it from his teacher. And it is a verbal practice that's taught over time, and we're giving thanks to that, to all of the teachers whose dedication and practice allow us to be here today. Mantra invites the possibility of finding clarity and insight through the practice and honors Patanjali as the source of yoga wisdom. It is often recited with reference at the beginning of yoga class. Okay. I'm going to shut the light off so you don't feel embarrassed by the sound. Nobody's listening. I promise nobody's listening. Maybe just one. We have to have a little right? Yeah, just one. All right. Put your book down. You're not reading it. You're just repeating the sounds that you hear with me. Okay, take a big breath in. Om. I'm going to say a short phrase, and you're going to repeat it the best that you can. Vande Gurunam.
Vande Granam,
Charnadavinde.
Chanabinde,
Sandarashita.
Sarashita,
Swatma Sukha Vabode.
Svatmasukapade,
Nishrayase.
Nichayase,
Jangalikayamane.
Nandanamane,
Samsara Hala Hala.
Samsara Hala Hala,
Mohashantye.
Mahashante,
Abahu.
Abahu,
Purushakaram.
Padushakaram,
Chantachakrasi.
Shankachakasi,
Davinam.
Kalinam,
Sahasra.
Sahasra,
Virsam.
Jirasam,
Setam.
Vetam,
Pranamami Patanjalim.
Pranamam,
Om. You did great. It's easier to blend in with a big group rather than when I'm taking 3 people. Okay, we also will close with a closing mantra. The closing mantra expresses a wish for the prosperity of all beings, seeks protection and guidance for the practitioners, and concludes with an offering. May all beings be happy and free. Om, peace, peace, peace. This mantra reflects the intention to extend positive energy and blessings to the world. Okay, ready? Again. Om. Swasti Prajabhyaha.
Swasti Prajapaha,
Pari Palyantam.
Hari Palanantam,
Nyayena.
Jnanena,
Margena.
Margena,
Mahimmahishaha.
Mahimahimshaha,
Go Brahmanebhyaha.
Go Pranamisaha,
Shubhamastu Nityam.
Shiva,
Lokaha Samastaha.
Loka,
Sukhino Bhavantu.
Sukino, Bhavantu,
All together. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Thank you. Okay, light's coming on. All right, last thing I put in the book for your Sanskrit lesson of the day is the numbers. We're probably not gonna use numbers quite yet in this month, but just so you know that they exist, and if we do a lead class will use the numbers, okay? So I'm just gonna say them out loud. Ekam, inhale. That's, okay, sorry. Ekam. Why does it say Eka? I want to change that. Eka. Ekam, dve, trini, chattari, pancha, shat, sapta, ashtau, nava, dasha, ekadasha, dwadasha, trayodasha, chaturdasha, panchadasha, shodasha, saptadasha, ashtadasha, ekunawimshatihi, wimshatihi, ekawimshatihi, dwawimshatihi, trayowimshatihi, chaturwimshatihi, panchawimshatihi. Okay? That's all we need to know about them for now. Okie doke. Progression of asanas. We are going to be learning half of the primary series in this class, up to half, okay? We're going to see how it goes. Pacing needs to be appropriate to each person, and so I'm going to be experimenting on how we do that, and you guys are going to help me. I'm going to do the best that I can. I've never taught such a large group all at once, and so your feedback and interacting with me is really important. The primary series is known as Yoga Chikitsa, or Yoga Therapy. Many practitioners only ever practice Yoga Primary Series. It is a really great series that helps to purify and detoxify the body. It has a lot of forward bends, hip openers, and twists, and it's a great foundation for learning yoga. For anyone that really decides to continue going and work on this for a long time, sometimes it takes people many years just to get to to be ready for the intermediate series. And honestly, I put a little mention of advanced series, but there's not a lot of people in the world that practice advanced series. It's a really deep practice. But all in all, the themes across all series focus on breath and movement and creating that meditative flow. Okay. We are doing good. It's 12:46. The next page I included, I included some talks about the Yoga Sutras and the 8 limbs of yoga. Ashtanga actually comes from that word, 8 limbs. Ashtau, that was in our list, number 8, Ashtau, 8 limbs. The 8 limbs are listed here. Yamas are the ethical restraints, including nonviolence, truthfulness, non-stealing, moderation, non-possessiveness. These are the things that are outlined. This is ancient text. We don't necessarily know how long ago, but definitely BC. Back in those times, everything was transmitted verbally from teacher to student, often in ashrams or very close-knit practicing communities. And these were common phrases or aphorisms that were passed from student to teacher. And Patanjali is the person that's often credited as codifying these yamas and niyamas and other 8 limbs of yoga. These 8 limbs are the things that are necessary to observe in our life, in our practice, to concentrate the mind and the body, and to to find liberation in your mind. Okay, niyamas are the observances, purity, contentment, discipline, self-study, and surrender. Asana is the limb that we're going to start practicing next week. Asana is the physical posture. Pranayama is breath control. We're going to learn a little bit of that breath control with our movement, and it's also a full study on its own to extend that pranayama study separately. Pratyahara is withdrawal of the senses. We begin that withdrawal of the senses by practicing our drishti and controlling our breath. We can start to bring our focus in on ourselves. That's like an introduction to it, and of course the Pratyahara discipline can be much deeper than that as well. Dharana is concentration, dhyana is meditation, and samadhi is the union with the divine. Okay, moving on, the last page. No, I didn't mean last page. It's like the last section, sorry. We're going to talk about the lineage of Ashtanga Yoga. As I mentioned to you before, this practice is taught and learned from teacher to student, and so on. You know, it evolves over time to what our needs are, and yet it's still a continuous practice. Okay, we are practicing something different than they may have practiced 200 years ago, but we're still connected to that cycle of teachers. It evolves slowly over time, just as our dialect evolves over time and our slang evolves over time. We're speaking differently than we did 200 years ago, and yet we're still speaking English. We are speaking the Ashtanga Yoga of thousands of years and thousands of teachers, and all of their practice and all of their dedication was handed from person to person to land at your feet. So I certainly did not name all of the important teachers, but these are teachers that are important to me. And so Pattabhi Jois passed away in 2009. He really made the modern system what it is today. His teacher was Krishnamacharya. Krishnamacharya was hired by the Prince of Mysore, India, and also taught a lot of other teachers that brought yoga to the West. So he's really important also. Sharat Jois is currently the director of the Mysore Ashtanga Yoga Center in Mysore. Saraswati is the daughter of Pattabhi Jois. Her and Sharat are pictured in that little orange picture. Saraswati is no longer teaching currently. Eddie Stern is a teacher in New York. I listed him because I really like his book and his breathing app, if you ever feel like checking that out. His book is called One Simple Thing. I think it really appeals to our scientific minds in this room. And he has a free app called the Breathing app that's he produced it in partnership with Moby, so that's pretty cool. It's just this very simple app that you can set the pacing of the breath, and it's like this. And so it's nice if you're just looking for some simple way to breathe steadily. You want some assistance with that, okay? Tina McGregor is a teacher out of Miami. That's a picture of her book. I do have the book. I have a handful of books if anyone ever wants the Megan Lohner Library for extended learning. Kino's place in Miami is called the Mysore Life Center. They offer in-person classes, workshops, and virtual programs as well. Taylor Hunt is a teacher out of Savannah, Georgia, so the other 4 hours north of us. He also has a virtual Mysore program that's very well done, and he specializes in reaching out to the community in recovery and addiction. Krista Shirley is a local teacher. She's the one that I received one of my teacher trainings from. she's out of Winter Park. And Jessica Lynn Treese is in Tampa. She is the one that I recommend to you guys for extended learning. Her virtual program is ridiculously low priced. It's such a great resource. It really is. For only $18 a month, you have access to support at a lot of convenient times, and they have a great program. So that's that. Okay. We have 7 minutes. I'm going to talk one more thing, and then we are going to do this little journal exercise, okay? Did everyone sign the attendance form? You did not. Sorry. Okay, so my last bit of talking, and then we'll come back to journal exercise. The format of the class is 8 classes, Mondays and Wednesdays, over the next 4 weeks. We have a variety of locations because that's how it is. I would like for it to be in one place, but it's just difficult. Sorry, guys. So I will be sending that information out, but I want to, get a feel for who thinks that this is what they want to do for the next month with me. Yeah? Okay. Monday is at the Magic Gym. All 4 Mondays are at the Magic Gym. The first 3 Wednesdays are in the public meeting room. The last Wednesday is at the Renaissance Center. And I will send this in an email.
What's the Magic Gym?
The Magic Gym is South Econ Park, the back.
Next to the senior center, when we do that, it's the gym, the rec center is there.
Okay. No. Since they're coming for a class, you can come in for free, no registration required. To use the bathroom, you're supposed to be a member. So.
But the membership is free if you have Orange County as your
You just
insurance.
have to do the
So
paperwork.
you do have to, if you want to do that, they have a shower, they have a passcode to get in the bathroom. You have to fill out the form from them and get it to them, and they'll put you in the computer, take your picture, and then you can access any Orange County gym via your ID.
Yep.
So the form you're talking about is you go to My Orange County, you know where, it talks about, like, where you see your W-2 and your paycheck? If there's a sheet there, one sheet, that shows, like, who's on your, like, with your benefits. If you print that out, just take it to them, and they'll just make you sign a little waiver. You give that to them, they'll take it, and anybody on that beneficial is free as well. If they're a minor, then they'll have to wait till they turn 18, but,
Or 12. I think they can.
it's
So
12.
they can go to the game room. If they're 16,
Yeah.
they can work out with you as long as you're there with them. But after 18, anyone that's on your insurance can go for free to like the fitness part.
Yeah, and you can do it on the same day.
Correct.
As long as you bring that piece of paper, they'll take your picture, so make sure you look nice.
So we have all 3 places that I could possibly be. So I will need your feedback when we're done to see if any of them I shouldn't use in the future, what your preference is, help me out, what are the benefits of all 3? We're gonna figure it out together.
So you know other people in this class in the Magic Gym, other locations or something, is that why you do the other locations?
No, just because it was booked. Things were booked.
This room was booked all the time?
Public meeting room.
Only problem I foresee is those of us who have to clock out for lunch.
Yeah. Do you?
Yes, but I think, since it's a class offered, I think I can get my boss to like not let me clock out, because if I don't clock out at all, it'll automatically take it out.
Okay.
My thing is, like, I can clock out, but
So public.
I get written up if I'm a minute late. Yeah, on-site would be better for me personally, but I'll work it out.
Yeah.
See what he says.
Okay,
Math?
yes, bring your mat, please. Do you have a mat? Anyone raise your hand you don't have a mat to use? Okay. Okay, bring your mat, bring a change of clothes. You know, do you know what to wear for yoga clothes?
Yoga pants?
I mean, you know, wear what you're comfortable in. We are gonna do some things where your legs are in the air, so.
Don't wear a skirt.
Yeah, don't wear a skirt.
Or wear
You're
something under it.
barefoot, okay? You're barefoot.
Dan, no tennis skirts for Dan.
No.
Oh, now I gotta change my whole wardrobe.
Okey doke. If you are joining me on Monday, please raise your hand. Where's my book?
I enjoy you.
I have to check my monthly schedule to make sure I can.
I have to check with Wayne.
Yeah, you probably need to.
Since it's not downstairs. Because like if I'm connected to the Wi-Fi, I can just bring my laptop downstairs and clock it in out there. However.
Okay, so some of you are thinking about Monday, is that what's
Try that,
happening?
but just in case someone has a backup.
Some of you are still thinking about Monday, is that right?
Yeah, I'm a.
Yeah, I thought it was just Wednesdays, but Monday's on remote, so that puts a wrinkle into things.
Okay.
Hey, my broom.
Good practice on Monday then.
I want to write this down so we know. Alex, you wrote Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday is your preference?
Yeah,
That is correct.
yeah.
Okay. So in the forms that you guys wrote, I saw some of you wrote down preferred days. When you write preferred days, are those your only days available? And is that right? Is that all we intended? Okay, so I had 11 people that said they were available on Monday and Wednesday. I'm gonna call your name, and if you're a yes, no, maybe, let me know, okay? So Alex is a maybe. He's
Maybe,
thinking about
yeah.
it. Andrea, are you a yes, no, maybe?
Monday, like, I'm not in the field.
Oh, you're not? Okay, so Monday is not actually your preferred. Okay, that's okay. I'm gonna put a maybe. Angie, is Angie on the phone? No? Dan,
Yes.
you're a yes? Emilio is not here. Heather is not here. Jackie is, next time around, right?
Yep.
Kim is a yes? Yes. Laverne? She left. Lisa? Yes. Yes. Maria? Yes. Thank you. Mari? Maybe. Maxine left. Natalie on the phone? Who's on the phone? I don't know. I think there was a couple. Ornella? Ornella's on the phone? Do you think you're attending on Monday? That's okay. I'll put a maybe. Rafal? No, that was Daniel. Sam, Terry? Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
Tori, sorry, I
Tori.
put Terry. My bad. I said that.
Tiffany?
Yes with a star. I just gotta check
You
with
gotta
Wayne.
get approval.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, you're Tiffany.
Well,
Hi.
Marie. Who was that?
That was me. I didn't even know who Tiffany was. I was saying hi.
Oh. That's Jackie.
Yeah.
Well, Marie's a yes? Yes. Yeah, dear? Yes. Okay. And Isabel? No, it's spelled not in here? Okay. Okay, thank you for that. 102, you guys.
You said
So-
Monday was the magic gym just outside of the restrooms, locker room?
Monday is the magic gym towards the back. Yeah, go through the front door all the way to the back. I will also send this in a calendar appointment. And since we are past 1, I'm going to give your first homework assignment. Your first homework assignment is to do your journal exercise. Think about it, internalize it, be happy about it. Record your progress over time, take some notes, and you're gonna flip to additional resources. You got a QR code to YouTube playlist. I want you to watch the first 2 videos. Oh, a little too far, Jackie. Up. Not loading, maybe? What happened? On page 19, there is how to do chaturanga and 10-minute tutorial on how to do sun salutation A. You're going to watch both of those and think about it. Contemplate. If you want, I'll give some bonus homework on the Ashtanga student references. That's page 20. The order is like columns, right? So it's going top down and then second column, that's how it goes. I'm gonna say for bonus homework, you can do 1, 2, 3, 4, the top 4.
If you do bonus, do you get individualized attention during
Yeah,
class?
definitely, yeah. The first 3,
Special high five.
the first 3 are super short videos, and the 4th one is a like nice little meditation just to listen to and help you feel good.
Thank you.
Okay. Page 21, I have 2 more QR codes for you. I have Megan's favorite yoga items on Amazon. If you want to get yourself the ultimate yoga mat, it's on there. The ultimate yoga mat. And if you want to check out some nice things to help your relaxation process, it's on there too. Yoga Chikitsa is that Tampa group that has really low cost prices. In your folder, you have a laminated file. I want you to bring that to every class with you, please. Okay? The laminated file in the pocket is coming with you to every class. That's all I have for you guys. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Do you need the pens back?
Yeah, let's throw them back. I'll put them back in the office, in the supply room. Okay, and whoever's online, I will put your copy at your desk for your book. Thank you.
Can I grab one?
Yes. What's your name?
Ornella. I was
Ornella.
online, but I just
Oh, sure. Great. Thank you.
So any, right?
Do you think you will come? Yeah?
Mondays and Wednesdays, right?
Can you find my book? Thank you.
Very nice. Hi, that was really nice. I was dancing upstairs with my computer.
If you want to also a waiver that you can go.
Yes, Ornella, can you do the waiver?
Okay,
Do you witness this?
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
I think we need a lot of witnesses. They weren't all done, yeah.
Don't listen.
I can witness them.
Okay. Do you mind signing here that you witnessed me saying
No.
there?
Oh, okay.
Fine, thank you.
I was last one, so I didn't have phone to witness.
Okay, so.
I'll be your address, and
All
I'll
right.
just sign the witness.
My name, right? My name.
Ornella, did you see who was present in the virtual one?
It was
Jackie,
Jackie
obviously.
and then another lady that I
You
don't
don't know the name? No. I can look
But
it
it
up.
was only 3 people,
3 people?
including me. Okay. Perfect. Date, I don't even know.
17. Thanks for coming by.
Yeah, I've never done like a legit yoga course. I'm
Yeah.
so excited. I've done like the, like student gym thing. and
Yeah, cool.
Claire Beth on yoga.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, and I was gonna text him one night, but I was like, oh, that's kind of late, so I'll just tell her next time. Have you ever watched Ted Lasso?
I mean, it sounds familiar, but I don't know.
It's like a show where like a football coach moved to London to be
That's it. Thank you.
English football coach. Do you want me to send her?
Oh, sure, yeah. You said
but-
there's a lot that need it.
Do you want me to sign others?
Sure. Okay, Ted Lasso.
But the assistant coach is supposed to be from Peoria.
Oh.
Yeah, so like 2 fictional
Yeah,
celebrities now.
that's funny.
And Ted Lasso's from Kansas, so I was like, that makes sense. They're all from the Midwest. Make sure.
It still says recording.